Hi there, and welcome to Recycling 101. I'm Casey from 4Ocean. If you're like me, you probably learned all about recycling as a kid. Or maybe you're in a school learning about recycling right now. Many people have been told that it doesn't matter how much plastic you use, as long as you recycle it by placing it in a specially marked container. That way, the garbage trucks can take it away to a place where it can be turned into something new. Unfortunately, the truth is that less than 9% of all the plastic ever produced has been recycled, and even less of it has been recycled more than once. So today, we're going to talk about what recycling is, the different types of plastic, where recycling falls short, and what we can do in the near future to help. You ready? Okay, let's dive in. Recycling is the process of collecting and processing material waste so it can be turned into new products instead of getting thrown into a landfill as trash. This process varies depending on where you live. But essentially, recycling is when you drink soda from a plastic bottle, recycle that bottle using your city's recycling program, and that bottle gets turned into a new product in the future by another company. Please keep in mind that recycling isn't just for plastic. It can also give new life to materials like glass, metal, paper, cardboard, and rubber as well. Have you ever noticed the recycling symbol on the bottom of your bottle? A lot of people think that it just means the product can be recycled, but there's more. If you look closely, you'll see that the recycling symbol is always paired with a number from 1 through 7. This symbol is called the Resin ID Code, and each number represents a different type of plastic that has unique characteristics, uses, and a specific recycling process. Each type of plastic must be recycled separately in order to preserve the value and quality of the recycled material. That way, the plastic can be recycled over and over again. But a lot of plastic looks the same in the naked eye. So in 1988, the Society of Plastics Industry created the Resin ID Code system to help recyclers identify different types of plastic resins so that high-value recyclable plastics could be separated from low-value, non-recyclable plastics to ensure they were recycling the most plastic possible. Now that we covered the Resin ID Code, let's talk about the 7 types of plastic and how they're recycled. Some plastics go through a mechanical recycling process, where the plastic is washed and shredded into flakes or ground into powder before it's melted down. Other plastics go through a chemical recycling process that's a bit more complicated and costly. Plastic can only be recycled with like plastics. So let's say you're recycling plastic water bottles. Somehow, a little bit of some other kind of plastic gets mixed in. Now, the chemical composition of your plastic has changed, which means it can no longer be used to make water bottles. Instead of getting recycled, all that plastic has to be landfilled or used to make lower quality products that can't be recycled when they reach the end of their useful life. This is why it's so important to follow our local recycling guidelines and make sure we're properly sorting our plastics. So what are the different types of plastic? Here we go. 1. Polyethylene terephthalate, or PET for short. 2. High-density polyethylene, or HDPE. 3. Polyvinyl chloride, or PVC. 4. Low-density polyethylene, or LDPE. 5. Polypropylene, or polypro, or PP. 6. Polystyrene. And finally, 7, which is a catch-all category for everything else. If you want to learn more about the 7 types of plastic, we'll be diving deeper in our upcoming intermediate and advanced videos. There are also dozens of great articles and blogs written across the internet. Out of the 7 types of plastic we just reviewed, only 2 of them are recycled on a regular basis. Some are more difficult or expensive to recycle and will only be accepted by facilities that specialize in recycling those materials. Unfortunately, there are some plastics that can never be recycled, period. For decades, first world countries like the United States and UK exported their waste to other countries like China. But in 2017, China announced a ban on imports of 24 types of solid waste, including plastic, which resulted in that waste needing to find a new home. So where does all of that plastic go now? It goes to other countries like Malaysia, Vietnam, Turkey, Thailand, Senegal, the Philippines, Indonesia, India, Bangladesh, Laos, and Ethiopia, where labor is cheap and environmental regulations are limited. The majority of these nations have insufficient waste management infrastructure to properly manage and recycle plastic, And a lot of the plastic they receive is highly contaminated, mislabeled, or already so low value that recycling it is no longer profitable. When these plastics are recycled, they're usually crudely sorted, shredded, and melted by impoverished families in unsafe, unhealthy conditions. The recycled plastic they produce is usually low quality and rarely makes it back to the international market in new products. More often, imported plastic is placed in poorly regulated landfills, burned in open pits that let off toxic fumes, or enters the environment where it will eventually make its way to the ocean. People can't be part of the solution until they're aware of the problem. So we encourage you to use your voice to help drive positive change. Consider talking to your family, your friends, co-workers, and your local leaders to see what you can do to improve recycling rates and reduce your plastic footprint. Write to your favorite brands and express your concerns about the way they produce or package their products. Tell them why this issue matters to you. Choose to spend your money with brands who are working to be part of the solution. Contact your local representatives and advocate for ocean-friendly legislation that will hold brands, manufacturers, and the plastics industry accountable for the plastic waste they produce and drive real systematic change. Plastic pollution is a complex issue, and we're not going to solve it overnight. But by working together and keeping the lines of communication open, we can help build a more sustainable future where humanity grows alongside nature and not at its expense. So stay curious, stay informed, and keep making waves. Thanks so much for watching!